fever pitch.
What are the great untold? There's got to be something about your championship teams that most people do not know, because it is very hard, Rajon. Maybe people don't understand, right? The Warriors broke up after 4 years of winning because winning together can be hard, and you guys got together very quickly. You did the hardest thing together. You developed lifelong bonds. You have a championship. What are the things that people don't know about that champion Celtics team?
I think one thing that helped us glue really quickly is we went to Rome right away. We went to Rome, Italy. We all shaved our heads. Paul caught me sleeping one day in the room, and he kind of came in the room and he nicked my head. And I had a bald patch, and I wanted to whoop his, but...
When in Rome?
I ended up... Huh?
When in Rome?
When in Rome. He just saw an opportunity to make a when in Rome
joke. He left me a window.
Yeah, he did. That's right.
Much like the Celtics, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Right. God. So, no, we went to Rome, Italy. No one spoke Italian, so we kind of was stuck with, kind of being in our rooms a lot, going to a lot of dinners and getting to know one another. Again, because the age difference was a lot. We had Sam Cassell, we had Scott Pollard, Eddie House, Kevin, all the older guys, and then we had a bunch of young guys, kind of implemented in Big Baby, myself, Perk, TA. So again, it's being older now, understanding you don't really clash or click a lot with a lot of young guys and vice versa. So getting that chemistry developed pretty early. The big three coming together, understanding about sacrifice, and us watching them develop that type of chemistry early on, and watching those guys grow was a big difference. And I believe that if we don't go to Rome that particular year, preseason, we don't win it. We gel pretty quickly. Our mindset, Doc had us a great Ubuntu word that we loved in the locker room, and we visualized and we talked about it every day. The rookies had to do a presentation on Ubuntu, and I think we bought in, and I think that's the key. We bought in right away. We handled adversity early. Not much adversity, obviously. We was kicking ass early, but when we did have those times where arguments in the locker rooms or fights in practice, they didn't get out into the media. And like I said, we went about it as professionals, and we locked in and figured out how to get it done that year.
How many?
So I believe.
How many arguments, fights? How normal is that in a highly competitive environment where how normal is every day has some arguments and fights in it?
Not normal, especially nowadays. I mean, I don't feel like my last couple of years in the league that practices were as competitive. I believe in the 08, the 9-10 era. We had a thing called G unit runs after practice. That's where back in the day when GM was popping, we would play 1-on-1 and there was no fouls being called. I mean, guys would get fucked up. I mean, it was crazy. Guys would get hit in the mouth, and if you weren't bleeding, it wasn't considered a foul. And that's how we competed. The first unit versus second unit, we wanted to destroy them every day. And so when we got in the game was a lot easier. And that's, as cliche as it sounds, like that's how we approached it. Doc made us compete. He would have to sit Kevin Garnett on the sidelines because it got so competitive. But Kevin he never wanted to come out even in practice. And then when we did come out, he would run the sidelines up and down the court as if he was still in the game. So that's just kind of instilled in the young guys and made us more competitors on and off the court. And it helped our bond as well.
Can you please, though, explain to the audience, for those who don't understand what championship medal looks like, and Kevin Garnett was a kind of crazy competitive. At the height of you guys competing, maximum escalation champion, no fouls are called here unless you're bleeding. What's the worst of that look like? What's the frenzy, who gets angriest with whom? Because now you're talking about, very physical people being very competitive.
Well, the two giants that used to go at it all the time was Leon Poe and Big Baby. And it's two young guys obviously competing for a spot, so it was a little bit more to it than, we would say a Leon Poe versus Kevin Garnett. He's already established. He's a made man, first ballot Hall of Famer. But the Leon Poe Baby matchups, along with Perk, those were fun to watch from the sideline because the guards we would have our own games down on one end, and then the big guys would be on the opposite end playing one-on-one. So that was fun to watch. And like I said, when we were done playing, you can hear all the shit talking in the gym on the other side. And it got very physical, but nevertheless, like I said, each game and each practice, we finished as a team. You know, and maybe times where guys were pissed off next couple of days, but at the end of the day, we would still come back the next day and compete just as hard. And Doc always reeled us back in to have the main goal, the focus is to win the championship.
Dan, I don't think you understand how many talkers were on that roster.
Oh, my goodness.
It's like the whole roster was talkers. Because everyone always thinks about Paul and KG, but Eddie House is a world-class talker.
James Posey.
James Posey's a world-class talker.
Yeah.
So Rajon, rank them for us. Who was the 1 seed, who was the 2, and who was the 3?
Wait a minute.
I think,
Hold on, Rajon. Can we do this dramatically with you? Can we do it from the bottom up? Can we go 5-4? Can you organize your thoughts to go 5-4, 3, 2, 1 dramatically? Top 5 talkers on the champion Celtics.
Shit, even Scout talker.
Let's go with
number 5.
Number 5.
Number 5 would be James Posey.
Wow.
Posey talks so much because Posey was on when they won that championship on that team. So he would act like, you you motherfuckers don't know nothing what's going on. Let me teach you how to, how to
He
get
had a
it
ring
done.
and you did it, right?
He came in with a ring he came in with a ring already. So we gave him 2 of these, like, so.
Number 4.
4. Because of the inexperience, I would say myself. Number 4, I'll go 4 for me.
You were young. You were young then. You got better at it. But number 4, you were about the 4th best on that team.
In 08, I was probably about the 4th best. I was still very humble, and I was trying to find my way. So I would say 4 for me.
All right, you were an amateur talker. Number 3.
Yes. 3. Eddie House. Eddie House.
That's a good team of
Yes.
If Eddie House isn't finishing a lot of bronze medalists in these categories.
Rajon is 4th.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Number 2.
Paul Pierce.
Yeah. Now we all know who number 1 is.
Paul was a hell of a talker. Like I said, he would talk while he's at the free throw line. I mean,
Come on.
crazy. I've heard him say some wild shit. Richard Jefferson. Mid dribbling through the free throw. He's talked to every power forward that I've seen him play against. Joe Johnson, Josh Smith. I mean, he's up there. And again, he's my teammate, so I had to defend him and go ahead and ride with him, obviously. But he says he was like you want to fight him right away, immediately. So, and then obviously, last but not least, number 1 coming in,
most
Kevin Garnett.
Wow.
Not a surprise.
Dan, some names left off the list. Sam Cassell.
Oh, wow.
Tony Allen.
Oh, my.
I'm telling you, this was like the 1927 Yankees.
Thank you. We appreciate it, Rajon. Thank you for being on the show. Good talking to you.
Appreciate you, gentlemen. Y'all have a good one.
All right. All the Smoke Productions, you need to find what they're doing on YouTube. Thank you, sir.